Good day, football fans, and welcome back to Brentford 2 Big Time today. It's the start of a brand new chapter. We've joined a new team. We've completed Serie A. We've completed Italy. I'll show you just in a minute how wonderful our Napoli side ended up being. Obviously, we won the league last episode. We had 3 games to spare in the League. We also had the Italian Cup final to go. We had the Champions League final to go, which would be our second successive Champions League title, which is pretty immense. It's all over though. We've left. We've got a new club. Let's go through it all. Before we do, make sure you leave us that like down below. Subscribe if you're new around here. Comment what you think of the video. What you think of the new team. What we should do with the new team. What you think transfers, ins, out, all of the above. Let me know. Let's get into it. So as we know, Serie A we absolutely dominated. We only ended up losing 2 fixtures in the whole season, which is a record. We got a record for the most wins that Napoli side has ever had. As you see above me here. Most assists, second most goals, most player of the matches here, most clean sheets, which was 24, which you can't see, but that's fine. All 3 of the top average ratings are all from our team. It's been incredible. One other thing to show you about Serie A. Of course, with the end of the season, we have had all of the season awards, which you can see all the inbox items over on the left-hand side of the screen. I don't know why I had to think about that, because I'm looking at the screen. Team of the year, we had 9 out of the 11, which is absolutely just ridiculous. Sort of annoying that, who's missed out. The people missing out is, really, it's either Lovato or Antonio Silva at centre-back, or Florentina, and Florentina Luis as the holding midfield, which is pretty gross. I'm not a huge fan of that. I can sort of understand why, I guess, either Lovato or Antonio Silva didn't make it. They were sort of interchangeable. Neither of them were necessarily brilliant, but they were there. But Florentino Luis, surely, right? Okay, deep dive. Zakaria, average rating. Serie A, most of his appearances were off the bench. Already pissed. I mean, he did have an average rating. You can't quite see it, but 7.05, decent average rating. But more than half of his appearances are off the bench. Whereas Florentino Luis played 34 of the games, only 2 appearances off the bench. His average rating is 6.87. So, I guess you can see somewhat why he didn't get in over Zakaria, who had a much better average rating by, 0.2. But he was really, should have picked him. As we know, in the Italian Cup, we had made the final. This was, we did much better this time around than last year, which I think we didn't even get to quarter-final stage or something like that. We made the final, having beaten Bologna 7-1 on aggregate. What happened in the final? We won on penalties. I think it was actually a last-minute winner, potentially. Sorry, that was wrong. As I should have said, last-minute equaliser. So Victor Osimhen in the 121st minute draws us level. Esposito, Zambo and Gisa, and then Son missing, with Yilmaz getting the winning penalty for us there. Absolutely sensational. You cannot complain there one bit. Another bit of silverware for us. So of course, the last time you were here, we had drawn 0-0 with Real Madrid in the first leg of our Champions League semi-final, hoping to make our second successive Champions League final. How did we get on in the second leg? 1-0, thanks to Victor Osimhen. We got to back-to-back Champions League finals. It is absolutely unreal. Winning at 1-0. Keeping Real Madrid scoreless for 180 minutes is pretty damn good. I'll take that any day of the week. But that, of course, isn't where it ends. It goes to the final, which, how did it get on? Of course, it was against AC Milan, so they won the first leg 2-0. Second leg is 2-1 to Inter, but Milan go through thanks to, really, Leao's goal here. But the final, we won. We bloody won. Absolutely unreal. 45 minutes, so just on the cusp of half-time it was, Leao got the goal for Milan. Victor Osimhen drew us level 69 minutes in, then Manu Kone, who came off the bench, got us a goal. He assisted Osimhen, then he scores himself a goal, puts us up 2-1. Leao equalises in the 87th. Then in the 91st minute, Victor Osimhen wins us a Champions League trophy. Absolutely sensational. I am beaming. Absolutely insane to win, 4 trophies in 2 years. Unfortunately, though, that's where it ends. That's where our Italian adventure ends. If I could talk, it'd probably be helpful. Where have we gone, though? But what we'll do is, I'll look through the league tables across the top 5 leagues, and, you know, there's obviously a few positions, I'll set the scene a little bit. If we start with Serie A, of course, I mean, we know who won that one easily. Napoli, best team there is. Ligue, don't care about that. We care about the league table where it was PSG. Of course it was. Looking down the table, teams that you would think would be doing better. I mean, maybe Monaco should be doing better. Maybe Lyon should be doing better. Lille should be doing better. Like, that's not even a maybe. You'd expect that Lille would be doing better. Maybe there's jobs there. Then we'll go to Bundesliga. Bundesliga finished like this. Of course, it's Bayern Munich winning. That's the most boring of predictable results. But Bayern Munich win it. Then Dortmund and Leipzig are second and third. I mean, Leipzig maybe because they fall so far behind. Like, they're 20... No, they're not. They're only 14 points behind. 14 points behind the eventual winners, of course, Bayern Munich. Other than that, I mean, Leverkusen were down in 9th. But then maybe that's too long of a project and I want to race through. I don't know. Other than that, Wolfsburg maybe would be annoyed. I don't know. Schalke doing very well, which is fantastic for 2028. That's brilliant. What's next? Let's go Prem, sure. Arsenal, the league winners, which is wonderful to see. Then Liverpool, Chelsea, Newcastle. The two Manchester sides finishing 5th and 6th, but Manchester United get Champions League. I'm not entirely sure why, probably coefficients or whatever, meaning that Brentford get the Europa League as well. Tottenham down in 11th is a worrying sign for them. Maybe that job is then available. City and United, but, you know, probably less than happy. Brentford, obviously my old team that I will have to, I'll have to conquer England. I have to. So whether we end up, you know, going to one of these other sides and then heading back to Brentford eventually and winning it with them, I don't know. Let's see. Spain, it was Real Madrid winning it, Barcelona, then Sociedad finishing 3rd, Atletico Madrid way back, 21 points behind 2nd, 31 behind their closest rivals, Real Madrid. Ooh, doesn't look good. Sevilla down 11th, but of course I'm not doing Sevilla again, that would be boring. Not really too much out of place, I guess. I mean, Villarreal down in 9th is pretty bad, I guess. They must have won the Spanish Cup or something because they're in. Anyway, how do I do this? The big reveal? I guess it's a big enough reveal because I've been talking out my poo hole for 20 minutes. All right, I'll load in because we're about unbeknownst to you, I'm already at the club. I've actually already done transfers. I've set up the team. There's people that want out of the club because they haven't been doing as well as they should be. There's old people who should be moving on probably. There's change needed at this club, and I'm gonna bring that. I had to, as a Manchester City fan, I had to. I don't think I actually had a choice. Obviously, it does sort of feel like we are taking the easy route or the quickest way to a league title, and look, we've already spent 3 seasons in the Premier League, so maybe I am doing that. But also, if we look at the history of the Premier League in this save game, starting from, of course, 2023 through to now, you might understand why. Of course, we started the save game in about March of the first year, I guess. So, look, there wasn't really too much to actually play. I think we played about 9 games or 11 games, somewhere in that range with Brentford. Manchester City won the league that season by 14 points, so they were fairly comfortable. The following year, Manchester City 2nd, 7 points behind Liverpool, so they dropped by 9 points in the league that season. The following season, 7th. They finished behind us at Brentford when we got our Champions League place. Only 1 point behind Brentford, but finishing 7th for Manchester City, not good enough. Following year, 3rd, back in the Champions League, 75 points. Following year, 6th. Not good enough, is it? For Manchester City, not good enough. Seeing West Ham and Newcastle get Champions League ahead of them, not good enough. And then, most recently, 6th again. So 2 years in a row, they've not been in the Champions League, which is not good enough for a club of Manchester City's caliber, the squad, the money, all of those things, the expectations, I guess, it's just not good enough. If we look at the managers since we started the save game, of course, I mean, it was Pep Guardiola, of course it was. He ended up leaving, I guess, in the third season, having, not done anything. Like you see here in the milestones, they won the first season, but then didn't win anything for the next 2 years, and he's got sacked. So no Champions League there. Then Brian Barry Murphy takes over. I mean, he's got accomplishments for the under-21s, which is fantastic. Vincent Kompany took over for, a year and a half, I guess. Something like that, anyway. Won 60% of his games, which is, I mean, it seems fairly good, really. He didn't win anything, but, I mean, that seems fairly good. Joe Hall was there for 30 days before Allegri took charge. Allegri there for, a season and a half, I guess. Didn't win anything. So literally, haven't won anything since the Premier League in the first season. Not a League Cup, FA Cup, Champions League, none of that. Just a Premier League in 2023. We're now in 2028. So in the last 5 years, Manchester City haven't won a thing. With Manchester City right now in real life, on the verge of, winning the Premier League for the, fifth time in 6 years, whatever it is. Also, one step away from a Champions League final, their second Champions League final, potentially winning it for the first time, who knows. To then go from this, where they are right now, to having 5 barren years with no trophies is ridiculous. And we're here to change that. This then is the squad that we are dealing with. Goalkeepers, Edison still there. He's 34, still very, very good. I'll still keep him around. Obviously, he's only got 1 year left on his contract. We don't have another up-and-coming goalkeeper that's going to be... we do. Having looked at, obviously, assessed the squad and looked... Anyway, definitely have up-and-coming goalkeepers, but none that are going to be, the standard you want them to be in a year's time. So maybe we extend that deal, get him for another 1, maybe even 2 extra years before another goalkeeper's ready. The other goalkeeper that is in the squad is James Trafford. This might just be for squad reasons. He's trained at the club, he's English, he's not very good. He's only got 1 year left on his deal as well, but look, Edison will probably get a new contract. I'm not sure about James Trafford. Then, it's a mess. Firstly, there's 27 people in the first team squad, which is ridiculous already. Then you look at the ages of them, and we have Edison at 34, Bernardo Silva at 33. He has asked to leave, and him and a number of people. Only 35 million we could get for him. He only has 1 year left on his deal, so I should probably pursue that more. He's just so good, though, isn't he? And, if we could get, Champions League football, which is the reason that most of them want to leave, if we could get that, I think we'd be, ready to sign him to a longer, another 2 years, maybe, because he's still got a work rate of 19, stamina of 15. He's still quite good. Then we've got Joshua Kimmich. I can't say it properly. He's insane. He's absolutely ridiculous. And still work rate 19, stamina 19. He'll play probably in the midfield. I'm not sure if he'll play the halfback, because as he gets older, the pace will go. I mean, he's only got 1 year left on his deal as well. But he hasn't asked to leave yet, so he's maybe fine, but, maybe he'll play as an advanced playmaker. I mean, he's got the vision, he's got the passing, he's got the, obviously, technical ability. We'll see. We then got Jack Grealish, who's got 1 year left on his... that might be the initial deal he signed, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, he's not very quick. He's struggling. If it weren't for his wages, I think I'd be getting rid of him. Then we've got Ruben Diaz, who's 31. Ousmane Dembele, who's 31. Again, a lot of these players have asked to leave. So you can see the promises that I've made. Bernardo Silva wants to leave. Ruben Diaz, Ousmane Dembele, Emerson Royale, who I haven't even registered because I just don't want to use him. I'm happy for him to go. I'd love for him to go. It just hasn't happened yet. Araujo has had a promise made. Ostergaard, we had him at Napoli. I'd be probably fine with him sticking around, depending on who else goes. If we look at the defenders that we do have, we've got Ostergaard and Diaz, then Murato, who's pretty decent. Then we've got Jurien Timber, of course, from the Ajax Academy. Very, very good, and he's only 27. Ronald Araujo, 29, incredible. That's, look, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 centre-back options, so probably Ostergaard's the man to go, either him or Morato, but look, a bit of same, really. They then got Max Aarons, of course the Norwich boy, as a right-back option. Another right-back option, this is one of the signings I've made, is Mickey Bradley. He's coming from Aston Villa this year. He's one kid, he's worth a lot of money already, he's 20, he hasn't played for England yet, but he will. Like, looking at him, he's very good, fairly ambitious. We'll get him in, mentoring with Bernardo Silva, with Joshua Kimmich. Erling Haaland is still here. Like, yeah, we'll be all right. Then for left-back options, we've got Luca Netz, who's 25, looking sensational. He'll probably continue to improve a little bit, I think. He is only 25, as I said. Again, with tutoring with, Kimmich, with Bernardo Silva, with Phil Foden, with Haaland, he'll get even better. And then the other left-back is another player that we've brought in. So we've brought in 2 players, and they are a 20-year-old right back and 19-year-old left back. This one, Jawad Boucher. I'm just going to say Boucher, like kombucha, but Boucher. He's worth 113 million at the age of 19. He's absolutely sensational. He's a left back, good tackling, good crossing, very good mentals for a 19-year-old, very good physicals for a 19-year-old, good stamina. He's going to be absolutely brilliant. He's going to be like world class, I think. We spent 63 million on the guy, so obviously I believed in him a lot. Obviously, I think Mickey Bradley was a bit less, but maybe also had to spend. Oh no, 55 million, so a little bit less, but obviously being an English talent, getting him to a better Premier League team, you sort of have to overpay. That's just the way of the world, the way it works. Yeah, anyway, I'll breeze through the rest of these. We're not going to get to play a game today, I'm sorry, but just because there's been too much to talk about, really. The rest of the squad, Danilo is a holding midfield option, of course, at Nottingham Forest in real life this year. He's very good. I'm very happy with having him here. He'll be the halfback, or one of the halfbacks, should he stay around anyway. He hasn't asked to leave yet, so he might stay. We've then got Manuel Ugarte, of course, from Sporting Club Portugal. He'll be, like, probably the main halfback, because the tackling, the mentals are insane. Great fitness, great stamina. He's very, very good. They've paid an incredible fee, I think. 99 million they paid for him from Newcastle United. So, yeah, you can see why, I guess. Other than that, again, this is taking way too long. But Santella, he's just a midfield option. He's 20. Advanced playing is probably where I'm going to play him, because he can't finish, basically. So he's not going to pay as the Mazzala. I think he looks very good. It says he doesn't really have that much more potential, but I actually think that 3 stars for Manchester City is going to actually be very good. Like, if we click on Ugarte, oh, he's 4. Okay, ignore that. Like, Danilo, with how good he looks, he's up to 3 stars. So, like, yeah, 3 stars is going to be very good. Jorge Santella. Bernardo Silva, we saw before, 33. He'll get slower. He's got great fitness and work rate and stuff, so I'm happy with him. Already saw Jack Grealish. Phil Foden suspended for this first game that, obviously, I won't be playing in today's video. He's got 3 matches remaining on it, you prick. Oh my god. Incredible. Just incredible. I've got him training as the Mazzala, but obviously he can play on either side of, like, as a winger. We'll see. We'll see, how the season works out, how the tactics play out, how our results go, all that sort of thing. Basically, I've just gone with the exact same tactic we had at Napoli, and we'll just see what happens, I guess. See how the season plays out and see what works, what doesn't, and what we want to change, I guess. We've then got Emile Smith-Rowe at 28. He's wanted by some clubs. He doesn't really seem to have made the grade. Like, he's been at the club for a few years and never really played that much. Like, 22 games here, 11 starts, only 7 appearances last season. Just hasn't quite done it yet. But, he's a maybe, I guess. Ousmane Dembele, he's one that's been asking to leave. He's 31, still improving a lot. He's clearly very good, isn't he? I mean, the physicals are a worry, the injuries are, of course, a worry, but if someone offers, that's the fee that he agreed to for some reason. So if someone comes in with that, he'll go, but I don't really want him to. We've then got a few other options with wingers. They're all like a few young options. Joel Ndala doesn't have a photo, want to get rid of him just for that reason. So he's listed for transfer and everything. Oscar Pereira, again, no photo, looks quite good though, doesn't he? Colombian youngster, 22 years old, very quick, good dribbling, good vision, I guess. He'll play as an inverted winger, we'll see. Then Denilson Carpintero, Colombian youngster. He's a wonder kid, surely. Like, he looks very, very good. Inverted winger, he's going to be sensational. Good finishing, good long shots coming up. Being trained again. I'll say it again. Being trained with Phil Foden, Kimmich, Silva, Erling Haaland, Yusufa Mukoko. Ridiculous. This guy's going to be very good. Next up, Ibrahim Adel. Don't really care about him. He could go. I'm not attached to him. He's wanted by some great clubs. If they offer 45 million, he's gone. We've then got Yusufa Mukoko, who is insane. He's 23. Dribbling and finishing is insane. Acceleration is insane. Off the ball could do with a little bit of work, I guess. But he's only 23. He only played 7 times. What? Signed him for 107 million and you played him off the bench 7 times? Oh my god, I can see why you got sacked. Holy my days. And then this fella. He's alright, I guess. Oh my god, he is ridiculous. What happened this season? He only scored 9 goals. Then last season, 37 in all competitions. 2 seasons ago, 52 in all competitions. 44, 36, 27 in all comps. He doesn't want to leave yet. He's not, annoyed. He's got a contract for another 3 years. Yeah, I'm going to absolutely, abuse him, He's, surely. Clearly, the squad, when you look at it, there's no reason they can't make Champions League. There's almost no reason they can't compete for the title. It just hasn't been worked out, They just haven't figured it out. We need to get rid of a couple of players because the squad's too big. But then after that, we're going to win the title very quickly. I'd be surprised if we're not challenging for the title this year. Even Champions League latter stages, potentially. It does depend who leaves. I mean, there's a lot of players that have been promised that if certain fees are met, they'll go. But with people like, Phil Foden will be sticking around. Haaland, Mukoko sticking around. Kimmich, Nets, the 2 new fellas, Danilo Ugarte, Edison, unbelievable, guys. Okay, next video. I'm not going to show you our first game. It was meant to be today against Newcastle. There's been way too much to talk about, so instead we're going to come back somewhere around this. Let's start with the derby. Let's go with the derby. Absolutely. Go with the derby. It's the 5th of November, so I've got a lot of football to play. And it is some way in the future, and we'll have the Europa League coming in and the Carabao Cup coming through as well. So we do have a lot of football to be playing. I'll come back. Maybe it won't be the derby. We'll see. Depends how fixtures get changed around, things like that. If that fixture ends up moving into December or some ridiculousness, it'll be too long and maybe I'll have to go with one of these other sides. We'll see. Let's do it. Let's win the Premier League. Let's do it. Why not? With my team. With my team. Sensational. Let's get into it. Until next time, guys, I've got stuff to do. Make sure you leave us a like, subscribe, comment, all the things. And that's it. Peace.